Discovered my girlfriend secretly posted my PS5 for sale to pay for her sister's wedding gift, so I shut it down and walked away. I've always believed that trust is the foundation of any relationship. My girlfriend, Jess, and I have been together for 3 years. For the most part, things were great. We had our ups and downs like any couple, but I never expected that she would betray me like this. I'm a simple guy. I don't have many extravagant hobbies, but I've always been a gamer. Gaming is my escape after long, stressful days at work. Last year, after months of trying to get my hands on a PlayStation 5, I finally managed to snag one during a restock. It was my pride and joy. Jess even joked about how I treated it better than I treated her, which of course wasn't true, but I loved my PS5. It wasn't just a console, it was a little piece of happiness in my daily grind. Jess, on the other hand, wasn't much of a gamer. She didn't mind me playing, but she occasionally rolled her eyes whenever I spent a little too much time on it. I didn't think much of it. We all have our quirks, right? Then her sister, Megan, got engaged. Megan is the complete opposite of Jess. Flashy, materialistic, and always expecting the world to revolve around her. Jess often complained about how exhausting Megan could be, but when Megan announced her wedding, Jess jumped into the role of supportive sister with enthusiasm. I admired that at first. Family is important. About a month before the wedding, Jess started acting a little strange. She was distracted, her phone was constantly buzzing, and she seemed a bit on edge. I chalked it up to wedding stress. She was probably helping Megan plan some last-minute details. One night, while Jess was out running errands, I decided to play some Elden Ring. I went to grab the controller, but it wasn't where I usually kept it. Weird. I opened the cabinet where I store my games and accessories, but my controller wasn't there either. Panic set in when I realized the PS5 itself was missing. At first, I thought maybe Jess had moved it for some reason. Maybe she needed to clean or reorganize. I texted her. Hey, do you know where my PS5 is? She didn't reply immediately, which wasn't unusual, but my gut told me something was off. About an hour later, she came home carrying grocery bags and acting like everything was normal. I asked her again about the PS5. That's when she froze. I was going to tell you, she stammered. I posted it online. To sell it? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You did what? I yelled. I rarely raise my voice, but this was beyond infuriating. Calm down, Jess said, trying to wave it off like it wasn't a big deal. It's just a gaming console and you barely use it anymore. I figured we could use the money for something more important. Something more important? I repeated, dumbfounded. What could possibly be more important than my PS5? That's when she dropped the bomb. Megan's wedding gift. She's expecting something really special and I didn't know how else to afford it. You don't understand how much pressure I'm under. I stood there in disbelief. So, let me get this straight. You decided to sell my property without even asking me to buy your sister a gift? Are you serious right now? Her face turned defensive. It's not like I sold it yet. The listing just went up. I was going to tell you. I didn't let her finish. You were going to tell me after you sold it? Jess, that's not how relationships work. You don't just take someone's stuff and sell it behind their back. I grabbed her phone off the counter and opened the selling app. Sure enough, there was my PS5 listed for $500. I immediately took the post down. Jess tried to grab the phone out of my hand, but I was too angry to care. How could you think this was okay? I asked, my voice trembling. You didn't even ask me. You just decided that your sister's wedding gift was more important than my feelings, my hobby, or my property. That's not love, Jess. That's selfish. She started crying, saying she was under so much stress and that she didn't know what else to do. She begged me to understand, but I couldn't. This wasn't just about the PS5, it was about trust. I packed an overnight bag and told her I needed some space. She begged me to stay, promising she'd make it up to me, but I couldn't even look at her. I stayed at a friend's place that night and spent the next few days thinking about our relationship. When I finally went back to our apartment, Jess was waiting for me with an apology and a fancy meal. She said she regretted what she did and promised to earn my trust back. But here's the thing. Once trust is broken, it's hard to repair. I couldn't stop thinking about how easily she was willing to betray me for something so trivial. It made me question everything about our relationship. In the end, I told her I couldn't do it anymore. I moved out and took my PS5 with me. She was heartbroken, but I knew I made the right decision. It's been a few months now and I'm in a much better place. I've reconnected with old friends, focused on my hobbies, and even started dating again. I learned a valuable lesson from this experience. Never let anyone, no matter how much you care about them, disrespect your boundaries or take advantage of your trust. As for Jess, I heard through the grapevine that Megan wasn't even impressed with the wedding gift she ended up getting. Go figure.